The film in which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy in which befell a lone cave diver. In 1984, experienced cave diver Peter Verhulsel and two of his friends went to venture into the Sterkfontein Caves system located on the outskirts of Johannesburg in South Africa, known mainly for its abundance of fossils, as well as its labyrinth-like underground lake. Their destination was a point in the cave known as Milner Hall, which as seen here is fairly deep into the cave system already. Though they were fairly confident that they would not get lost in the cave thanks to an already placed guideline. While sightseeing in the cave, Peter would take the opportunity to go off the provided path and see some more of the cave himself. Lucky for Peter though, his friends would always be there to bring him back. He would do this 3 times throughout the tour. Unfortunately for him, the 3rd time, his friends were not there to bring him back. His 2 friends turned around and noticed that he was missing once again. Not knowing which path he had taken into the labyrinth of a cave system, they waited there with their flashlights. But as time was running by, their oxygen was running out and they had to get back to the surface. Upon their return, they notified the police and gathered a search party in the hopes to find Peter. And by this time an hour had already passed, and Peter's survival had gone down significantly. The rescue divers resurfaced quickly when it was determined that Peter would not be able to be found at this time, due to the labyrinth-like cave system. Fortunately for Peter though, he was not dead. Unfortunately though, a fate worse than death had been bestowed upon him, as he was now lost in the labyrinth-like structure of the cave system. Luckily for Peter, he was able to find a small island at the end of one of the structures, so at the very least he would not die by drowning. Although with air still in his tank and a flashlight in hand, he would most likely still venture off from the island to see if he could find a path back to the entrance, though not venturing too far off from the island he had just found. Unfortunately, the batteries in his flashlight would eventually give out, leaving Peter stuck on the island in perpetual darkness in the cave. Knowing that the end was near, he would write one more message to his mother and wife in the sand. Peter would then die 3 weeks later, alone in the dark on that island. Three weeks after his death and 6 weeks after his initial disappearance, unrelated to the search for Peter, a group of dry cavers was doing some work in the chamber next to him, when suddenly they busted through. Not knowing what they would find, they slowly looked through the hole that they had just made and found the body of Peter, still on the island, withered away from starvation. Let this be a lesson to never explore an unexplored cave by yourself. Remember to hit the subscribe button and notification bell for more content in the future. Goodbye for now.